All right, there's Justin's Dinner Skinner. I'm going to put this on the Scotch-Brite belt and put a satin finish on it. Here is Jeff's Dinner Skinner with the curly bird's eye maple. I've got it rough sanded on the belt grinder. Now I gotta clean it up. I clean the inside up with my die grinder. The inside being this, the inside curve. And I do the outside just to get rid of the grinding marks. And then the rest is by hand. Well, I'm liking that. I've sanded it up to 1,000. Now we're gonna go, let me get the lights off. Now we're gonna go put it on the buffer. Boy, I tell you, I like buffing this stabilized wood because it's just the perfect amount of shine. All right, let's go do it. There we go. Now, I may just have to stop. I'm looking for butcher's wax. It's very hard to find. Most everything is, simple mop and glow and that kind of stuff. And I want to put some butcher's wax on it and then buff it out by hand with a rag. And that will put the final little bit of sheen on it. I like it. Okay, Jeff, I'm going to make, let's see, where are you? You are mostly done. These are my, let's see, who's this? What, am I missing one? Hank, where's Hank Hills? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the one I'm working on now. Okay, I just drove myself nuts looking for this knife here, and I'm thinking, I know I made the knife. Where the hell is it? And I'm just looking around my shop. How could I lose a freaking knife? I mean, it was done. And then I remembered. It's at the house. I have one more coat of True Oil to put on it, and I'll probably put that on in a few hours. And that will be done. Justin, fixing to start working on yours a little more. You're next. So I'm not going to get the sheaths today. I may get the sheaths tomorrow. Well, there's Justin's. How's that for a satin finish, huh? I have, boy, I tell you, I am a member of a whole bunch of knife-making groups on Facebook, and I have picked up more handy tips. And you kind of got to be careful because there's some groups where some of the members are just total douchebags, where all they do is just ridicule other people when they put up their work. So I've only put up a couple of my knives in a couple of the Facebook groups that typically don't get those kind of people. But there are people in there that have their own Facebook channels. I think I may have said YouTube by mistake, but Facebook is what I'm talking about. And they have their own Facebook channel, or page rather, where they put up videos. And so I follow a lot of the high-end makers from all around the world. And there's this one guy in South Africa. who gave me some advice on polishing. And he asked me, I told him what my polishing procedure was like. And I said, I'm getting pretty good results, but I am not getting anywhere near the results that you are. And I explained my procedure and technique. And he said, you're doing everything right, but you got to do a lot more work on the belt, the belt grinder, because your hands just can't get out all of the previous grits, especially on the lower end grits like 180, 220. Well, okay, I can't do it. I don't have the kind of belt grinder that he has. I have kind of a captive 2x42 where I can't change anything, and I can't do anything by hand, nothing. Everything I do on that grinder has to be done on that jig right there. I made that, by the way. That's my bevel grinding jig, because I can't stand steady enough, long enough to hold my hand steady enough. Anyway, I just can't. I know I can't. I'm not going to try. I have tried freehanding, and it's just something I'll never be able to do. And I have to, work around that. So I have to do hand sanding. But what he told me was, he said, are you normalizing before you heat treat? And I said, normalizing? I've heard that term before, but I'm not sure what that means. And he told me that what you do to normalize a piece of metal is you heat it up, and then you let it air cool. You do that 3 times, and then the 4th time you heat it up, and then you quench it in oil. And what that does is it more closely aligns the grain structure of the metal at a molecular level. And, it might be total BS or it might be right, but this guy's work, if he's giving me advice on how to get a better polish on blades, then I'm going to follow it, because this guy's work speaks for itself. So that's what I'm going to try. I've got a piece of stainless coming, and somebody just left a comment how you heat treat stainless. And I can only there's only one kind of stainless that I can use with the equipment that I have. Otherwise, I'm not capable of reaching the temperatures that some other stainless needs to temper. And I can use 440C. And the way I've seen other knife makers do it, and the way they do it is they heat it up to 1800, which is that is the upper limit of my 3-burner forge, and it's going to take a lot of gas, so I have to crank it up all the way and heat it up to 1800 and hold it there for 15 or 20 minutes, and then let it air cool, and then do it again, and then I can either air cool it between 2 pieces of aluminum rather, or I can quench it, and I'll probably end up quenching it because I don't have steel. So anyway, it's just an experiment for me, and if it works, it's going to be, I'm going to put all my effort into highly polishing it, stainless, 440 stainless, Texas Rumble, with some very expensive pins on it. And the thing is, the steel cost me $50, and if it doesn't work out, I'll only have $50 into it, and it's nice to know whether I can or can't do it, and I'll know that before I put the handles on, so I won't be wasting wood trying to figure out, if so. I got $50 in the handle, $50 in the pins, $50 in the stainless. And if I screw it up, all I'm losing really is the $50 for the stainless. So we'll see. And that's the answer to that. All right, I'm going to drink my soda pop here, pet my dog, clean that up real good with some acetone, because, here's the secret somebody told me. I was getting to that. When you put these knives on a Scotch-Brite belt, spray some WD-40 on the Scotch-Brite, and it puts a much smoother finish. And by God, he is right. That is a much, much smoother finish. and I started with a medium, I went to a fine, and then I went to a very fine. And I like that finish. So from now on, my satin finish blades will look like that. I like this. This has just been a total friggin' blast out here. I learn something every day, and I don't stop trying to learn more. And, it's not my motto, but it's a thing I have in my head. Every single knife I make is made to the utmost of the skill I have at the time that knife is made. And the next knife I make, I try to make it a little bit better than the last knife. So I'm constantly learning, I'm constantly refining my technique or adapting new techniques. And it's just been an incredibly interesting journey. And thank God I'm able to sell these, because I could not do this. It would be too expensive to play around in my shop here if I wasn't able to sell the end product and replace the stuff I use. And that reminds me of a joke I heard. Truck driver, owner operator, won the lottery, and they say, "What are you going to do with those millions of dollars?" And the truck driver said, "I'm going to keep on trucking until the money runs out." And that's sort of the way knife making is. If you want $1 million, what are you going to do with all that money? I'm going to keep making knives till there's no more money left. But this is something I can enjoy doing till I'm dead, and that's what I plan on doing. All right, see ya. Well, there's Jeff's knife. I just thought I'd give you a better look at it and my fancy new knife holder that I made out of leather. Here, you go there, you go there. Bom chicka wah wah. Okay, there's Justin's handles on. Tomorrow I will shape these, and I'm pretty sure I can get to starting to make the sheaths. These are all done here, and this will be done in the morning, and I think I can make the sheaths tomorrow. In the meantime, I'm going to make me something. I'm going to start doing my sharpening out here, because what's happening is I'm sharpening in my leather room, and then I'm contaminating my leather with, this is a messy job, and I don't want to get this on my leather, because I'm having to lay my leather on the same surfaces that I was previously cleaning putting the edge on my knives with. So I'm going to come back to doing it out here. I'm just going to get me like a bathroom towel to put under it, because it's a kind of a sloppy procedure. And, I don't want to ruin my beautiful tables here. All right. So, and that's what I'm going to make something to permanently mount this sharpener on. And I've seen it done somewhere else, and it does make it a little easier to use. These legs fold out. And you're supposed to suction cup this down in the back. And, unless you're on like glass, it just doesn't stay stuck. So I've seen somebody where they put it on a flat piece of like 1x12 or something, and then screwed in back here down, and they just put screws to hold it permanently, and then they clamp it. And I have plenty of clamps over there. They clamp the edge of it here so it doesn't move around. And that's all I need. Anyway, that's what I'm fixing to do right now. Well, that was easy. I didn't even have to cut it. This was a piece of scrap. Here's what I did. I pulled the suction cups off the bottom, and I drilled a hole and put a screw into this. And it ain't going nowhere. And then clamp it to the bench and it won't move. Problem solved. Okay. Alrighty, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. See you tomorrow.